And good evening, Star Wars fans. Coming to you live with another exciting episode of Holotheatre. Tonight is going to be all about Nationals. For those who don't know, Nationals is in 2 days. Yeah, I almost said 3 days because I mean day one is technically Saturday, but everything starts Friday night, so that's going to be extremely fun. But before we get to that, let's introduce our my co-host tonight. My co-host is Matt Lutz, joining us, who from Minnesota, I believe.
That's correct.
And
It's Southeast Metro, kind of part of Star Wars
the
CCG here in Minnesota.
the heart of Star Wars, huh? I don't know about that.
Just in
And
Minnesota.
I mean, you guys are in like the middle of the United States, but so I mean that's fair. Uh, and right now we're waiting on Mr. Batmouse, Anthony Howard. He'll be joining us here soon. He's having a little bit of technical difficulties. He started on his phone, then bounced over to his laptop. Now he's going back to his phone. So once he is good to go, Batmouse will be joining us. So in the meantime, we got an exciting show. Again, we are only 2 days away from Nationals. So, Matt, you're going to Nationals, correct?
I am. I'm going to be showing up in Denver about 10 o'clock local time Friday morning.
And is this your first tournament?
This is my first in-person major. So I played in, the NPCs that were online, the Texas Mini Worlds and Worlds last year. There's Batmouse.
Hey,
There he
guys.
is.
Hello. And then the kind of the Euro Championships in that virtual reality format that we did last year.
Okay.
This will be my first time kind of slinging cards in person at a major event.
And Batmouse, so is this going to be your first time at a major?
This is my first traveling major. There were two SoCal Grand Prix, San Diego Grand Prix,
Okay.
years past. But yeah, definitely my first actually flying away and getting to visit everybody major.
Right.
After,
So are you all packed up? You ready to go?
oh, I'm not packed at all.
Why aren't you packed?
I'll be packed tonight. I have everything set out, and literally just a matter of grab it, throw it in the suitcase, let's go.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm pre-packed.
I've been doing arts and crafts for like the past week just to like get stuff together. 'Cause I've been slowly kind of building the physical collection with the idea that at one point, we'll be playing one of these, and then COVID hit, and so, I mean, I probably had to cut out, 100 something V slips for the 6 decks I'm bringing with me. So gonna be interesting.
So now that
Yeah,
we're
that's
back
a lot
to,
of E-slip.
I was going to say, so now that we're back to in-person live events, what would you guys say is the best thing about in-person events, and what would you say is the worst thing?
I'd say the best thing is just like the people, like that, because it's the community
Okay.
that makes the game run. It keeps up the consistency. The worst thing is probably having to like build the physical decks. The arts and crafts just takes a lot of time sometimes, and I double sleeve as well, so that kind of adds some time to it.
Okay, Batmouse, what do you think is the worst thing? And
So
best thing?
the worst thing is having to say goodbye to everybody at the end of having an amazing weekend with everybody. Because I agree, the best thing is being able to hang out with everyone and put names faces with names and everything. Like we had our first SoCal live event this past weekend, and I don't think it had hit me at all during the entire pandemic how much I missed just being able to hang out with my friends. And then it hit me like a brick, like all at once. I went, oh yeah, I missed like not having to, like I never stopped working, but work friends and people I want to actually hang out with friends, two completely different worlds.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you guys are right. Like I think that I agree. The best thing is definitely the people. I will say one of the other things that's really bad is unless you're driving, airports just suck. Like I hate to fly. Like I gotta normally I'll bring like with something like this I'll bring like a carry-on with me and my backpack full of all the decks. This is the first time I think in like a long time I'm actually having to check a bag because I'm bringing so much crap.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna pack tomorrow night, but I don't intend to check a bag. I don't think I'll have to. Just kind of on the paranoia that I don't want to, run the risk of having a bag go missing and oh my gosh, there's my deck that I wanted to play for Saturday, or an extra card that I is out with. Some maybe that'll have some fun times going through security. What are all these card things that don't look very good on X-ray in the X-ray scanner?
Kind of looks like a bomb. That's, I've heard that before.
Along those lines.
Same. And you know what's funny? Like I know Brian Fred. What he does is he'll bring like a. I think he's like the person who's got it down to a science at this point. He actually brings like a one of his items that he brings on as a carry-on is a lunchbox, like one of those cloth type of lunchbox with like the liner inside for to keep it frozen, and he just puts all of his decks in there, and then he just like goes up to the stuff, opens them up. They're all just showing the cards and everything, and he just walks right through. From what I've heard.
Nice. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I might have to try that.
Like I'm surprised. Like you're part of Team 5 Million and a B Fred. Matt, you should know these little tricks from B Fred.
I get to meet B Fred this weekend, just like I get to meet you guys in person. If you think about it, I started playing really kind of more seriously competitively earlier last year, and so now this is my first in-person major, so I can put names to faces and handshakes to people. I've had we've had team calls and to prep for majors and stuff like that, talk about decks and such. But I haven't met, outside of the Minnesota guys, I haven't met any of these people in person.
Wow, that's interesting. So, what did you guys really do to prepare for leaving? Like, I know that you guys have put your decks together, theory crafted. I mean, did you guys play a lot on GEMP? Did you practice off of GEMP? What'd you do to practice for get ready for this first major?
So I've been watching a lot of game links. I haven't played a whole bunch. I've been since probably the MPC. Most of my games have been in our Bestman League, which is kind of quite competitive. Somehow I managed to play Dead Body, Garrett Larson, like twice a month for the past 3 months. And he and I were joking that finally, we got a month off in July for Nationals. I have to play him twice. Because I think what happened, 2 of those times is one of us was 3-0 going into the game, and then the person that was 3-0 lost, so we didn't win the league for that month. But otherwise, I've been, watching the game links and trying to learn as much as I can about the current meta.
Anthony, what did you get? What did you do?
Played an insane amount of cards over the past couple months, but I honestly wasn't gonna go to Nationals, just because I don't travel. I don't, it's an expense on myself, and I don't generally spend on myself. I spend on my wife and kids till to extremes, but on me, I don't. And then my wife, sends me a text, says, "Hey, I love you." And you could have just told me, but attached are the pictures of my flights. She bought my tickets while I was asleep.
Nice.
And says, "You're going. Figure it out." I'm like, okay. So now I go from playing 2 to 3 games, 2 games a day, maybe, like if I'm lucky, to there was a day I probably played like 17 games.
Jeez.
Like, just
that's wild.
Go play as many games as I can. I'll take losses. All right, this is a for sure loss. You could battle back into it. Might as well just concede, move on to the next one, pre-prep, and just grab ideas from here. Take some ideas from Team Bro Hug. Get a couple ideas from Brad Reinhold, who's my Team Killer Bees partner, and talk to Ryan Jellison because that's my Team Keeper Rolling partner, and that's just play a ton of games. I'm rusty, but this past weekend was the first time I'd played in paper for I don't know, almost 2 years, and that was nice to be able to this is how I shuffle, remember that, count my cards and do all the things that don't mess this up. And thank you, Jem, for taking care of this for me. But now I need to do this. Don't mess up. Try to remember how to track, correctly.
Right. Yeah. We had our locals have started back up here that Mark Walseth is running. Mark's also coming to nationals, which is great. But I played in the one of the 2 days that they had in June, and that was just great. Like playing physical cards again in person with other people. That's not my son. And so I played CCT, which is the deck that I just played the crap out of last year. And it's actually weird to sit down and think, okay, I have to actually pick up my force pile and look through all the cards and figure out, okay, this is what I want. I'll hold my hand here and my force pile here, and it's just a different mechanic. And then organizing your stuff on the table, Gemp does that all for you. And now you're dealing with where you can put your effects and your shields and make sure you see where they are, and it's just different.
Yeah, and now when you're playing and you get on stream, it's Gemp, but now at Nationals, say we put Matt on stream, it's actually him. I know we're trying to work on getting cameras set up so that when we're playing, you can see the player's face as well as the field.
Interesting.
So you're gonna have to be cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah, so watch the nose picking there. That should be.
Well, I hope there's only one person I can feasibly see picking his nose, Anthony, and that's you.
I mean, it's right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
that's good. I didn't know that. That's a nice little production value. Hopefully, we get added here.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make this as schwanky as we can.
Schwanky.
So. Speaking of the meta, I know we touched upon this a little bit before, but how are you guys feeling going into a major with the current meta? I know light side received a lot of helpers versus dark side, and heck, we even got a new light side deck to play with before nationals. So, what's your take on the current meta?
And I'll probably defer to Batmouse because he's probably played more games in that one day than I have since the NPC. But I think it feels pretty similar, what we were dealing with, kind of post NPC, and we had the erratas after that as well. For example, map got errated, but like all decks, its death is probably greatly exaggerated. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of those show up. On the flip side, the new light side deck would be Rescue the Princess Virtual, which you had Andrew Moss Wend on here a couple episodes ago, because I was on the group of folks that helped design that. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that, but maybe it's 2 or 3. But otherwise, I think some of the top decks that we've seen perform maybe in OCS or at the NPC itself, I think a lot of them probably pretty unchanged. And it'll just kind of be maybe a little bit of rock, paper, scissors as to who shows up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of Shadow Collective or Hunt Down or ISB. And on the light side, probably Prophet or Let the Wookiee Win, which I think is going to be interesting. And we just had OCS stats come out with Hitco and doing probably far better than people anticipated, as well as ROPS. And then of course, pack your free ride combos for that silly Dark Deal deck, and hopefully we can, get together enough of the free executor effects, all centralized here in Denver, to see how many of those lists pop up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Batmouse, what do you think? I know you said you've been playing a lot, so.
I've been playing a lot. I've been playing kind of a full spread of just everything. I'm not generally a mains player. Found myself playing mains and toys. I hate myself because of it, but I found myself. I must have gone through 7 or 8 different Let the Wookiee Win builds. I've been playing a bunch of Hunt Down Virtual, regular Hunt Down. There was some Hicko going on, and I felt dirty. I really did feel dirty because I'm an OA guy. I'm a court. I would rather have card versatility,
right,
and variance, and people have said it about me. Dan says it about me all the time. Oh, that's a Batmouse deck. It has at least one card that makes you go, what is this doing in here? And then you go, oh, it's beating me. That's what it's doing in there.
It's beating you.
And it's the perfect one card that nobody would ever put in there, and you're like, that's a throwaway card. But again, kind of just reading, the room and knowing what's going on and playing a ton of games lets you see what the key component is. Like there are a ton of mains on the ground. I don't like to play on the ground. Maybe I'm just going to play all in space. Okay, that eliminates, on the dark side that eliminates. Oh, I don't have to deal with double-bladed mauls and Lord Vaders and all of these things, and now I just have to figure out a way to control and shut out your biggest weapon, which was fighting me, trying to win in a beatdown. Well, if I take away your beatdown, I took away at least half of your win condition. Now you've got to find another way. And we have great players, and I don't really think that there are any players that are still playing this game that can't adjust. But forcing your opponent off of their game plan is just another little extra step you can do to gain an advantage. That doesn't work all the time, obviously, but if I can get you to go, at least once, I think I've won the moral victory in that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a good way to think about it. Is you need game plans for what you can anticipate.
So I know, Matt, you said it a little bit. You're anticipating like Shadow Collective and ISB and all those other types of decks. So what is like the biggest? What do you think is going to be the most popular deck for each side?
I was looking back at the NPC lists and thinking about kind of how these have changed. It's obviously it's not going to be Map as the most popular Darkside deck. I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see either an ISB or Shadow Collective be the most popular deck, and I would on Darkside, maybe Hunt Down. And on the flip side, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Let the Wookiee Win for light side, or something control-y like OA or Diplo on the dark, or on light side for a control deck, or something more traditionally balanced.
Batmouse?
I mean, I think each side has a good solid. They've got a control, they've got a beat down, they got scrubs. I mean, we can talk about deck type archetypes forever, but I think each side has got something there.
Yeah. So dark side, I did see a really great Shadow Collective the other day. Side absolutely murdered me with his Shadow Collective last night, actually. So I would love to see Shadow Collective, but I do feel ISB is going to be around, and Court, I feel, is there's going to be a ton of mains, and maybe bring him to counter the Lukes, but if you can put together a package that handles mains early in Court, you can kind of get the ball rolling and force them into your game plan. Oh, please come to the audience chamber, because it becomes a death trap. It becomes a death trap if you do it right. But it, just like everything else, it all comes down to having the right cards at the right time. It's great, really great though, to hear that like people are like, oh, Shadow Collective, because I played Shadow Collective at Worlds. I mean, I'm like, oh man, I should have just saved that deck for like 8 months later. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I should have played it now, and I don't know, maybe I'll play Shadow Collective.
Yeah, the thing I really like about Shadow Collective is what I like about decks like Prophet or Main's decks is Star Wars cards to me is swinging lightsabers and shooting blasters, and that deck is all about shooting and hitting stuff. So
Yeah.
just like the some of the Rescue the Princess lists we've seen, I don't think it's going to be good or great. I would anticipate people to be that'll take a major or two or more to sort out what people like and how it sorts out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see people playing in a consolation or in the team tournament, but probably a couple of lists in the main event, and that's about it.
Okay, so what decks are you guys bringing?
3 light side and 3 dark side.
Batmouse?
I've narrowed it down to cards. 2 light, 2 dark, and I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe I got a Batmouse deck in there.
How many copies of Abyss are you running?
Well, I only need 1 because, as you know, if I draw another one while it's on table, it goes lost.
Good answer.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. For those who don't know, Batmouse, one of his staple cards is Abyss. So, who knows if we're going to see it this weekend?
You got to deal with those Jedi Luke in some way.
Yeah. I mean, if I can take 1 card and I don't know, maybe mess up. What? Let's say 5 Lukes, right? Was that $2,000 worth of cards in your deck?
Man, you're just making that. Chris Kelly cringe right now. I don't think he's watching, but he's like secretly just saying to himself, "Why is Batmouse like? Who let Batmouse on?" No, I think it's going to be an interesting weekend, and I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, Batmouse, you said that your wife purchased your tickets. Like, was everything okay with your family, Matt?
Yeah, no, I have had these dates on the calendar for a really long time, and so I appreciate the PC announcing them.
Yeah,
a long time ago. Because that allows me to arrange childcare and backup for my wife. We've got 3 kids, 9, almost 5, and almost 2.5 or so. And so a family friend of ours is coming in for the weekend tomorrow to help out with things.
Okay.
3's a lot. But I mean, just kind of a division of labor and how my wife and I operate. We each have hobbies that are separate from the other, which I think is good and necessary. And it's just kind of a trade-off. And so that's how this works. I thanked her this evening, like, "Hey, honey, I realize I've been dealing with this hobby a lot these past week and a half. I appreciate you greatly. I've been doing the arts and crafts stuff. We recorded another episode of the Bad Deck Breakdowns podcast last night with an exceptionally bad no idea deck that I think you'll all get a laugh at once you see it.
That's gonna be good.
And then we'll have kind of a recap. I'm gone for 4 days, and we'll have a recap of that in 2 weeks or so. Plus, I know when I get home, I'm going to have to sit down and sort everything out. Reorganize the collection a bit.
Yeah, I believe me. I know how you feel. Like, I was trying to go through my collection before, and I just said, and this is months ago, I just said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it until real cards come back. And now real cards coming back, and I'm just like, crap. Like, because I know a bunch of people hit me up and were just like, "Hey, you got this? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow this?" And I'm just like, "Well, let me see what I got.
Let me find everything."
Yeah, that's right. The biggest thing, because like, I mean, I've been playing Magic for like in-person Magic events for the last about a month, maybe 2 months, and now I'm just like, oh, this entire week I'm just like, crap. I need to get Star Wars stuff ready now too. So, I'm so glad I'm not playing. Like, I like to play the game. I'm looking forward to Worlds and playing in Worlds. But right now, I'm so glad I'm not playing. I'm so glad that it's
Are you on streaming and commentary and stuff all weekend then?
So it's going to be, at least from what I know, it's going to be myself and Jerry the entire time. And then I'm hoping, besides that, after every feature game, to get the winner at least onto an interview, just to make everything look nicer. So
sure, that's a good idea.
But yeah, this weekend's going to be fun. If you haven't been to a major, This one's going to be really a blast. Again, thanks to Jerry, and I think Casey's running it, so thanks to Casey and everybody else who helped put this together. It's it's been over a year. It's been almost a year and a half since the last in-person major. So I'm excited. I know you guys are excited, being that this is your first outside of your own state event. Mr. Batmouse going to San Diego for some San Diego Grand Prix. But no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Again, if you haven't been there, usually Friday night is a team tournament. Those are where you pair up with a teammate. Well, one of you plays light side, one of you plays dark side, and I want to say it's a single elimination. So that should be fun. Saturday is all of day one. You're gonna play 8 games of Star Wars all day on Saturday.
So
Are
much.
you two ready?
I think I've played a couple of I've played 4 event, and I've played, I think, a couple of 6 event tournaments that Walseth has run,
Mm-hmm.
and those are long days. I think I've played enough of those. There's the care and feeding of CRG that needs to happen between games. I think I'm going to be fine. I mean, these are just like stupid long races for me, basically. I can handle that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Batmouse?
I play marathon bouts of cards as it is, so I'll be fine. But as the adult beverages make their way make their way into the room, it may challenge my playing ability. It might actually make my playing ability better.
To a point.
What I mean, I know that I have a couple trophies sitting over here that only happened after we went over and had a lunch break at the bar across the street in Burbank. So I think that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah,
There's
and
a lot more trophies missing.
I was going to say, I know after the events and everything, usually there's a bunch of board games that are being played. I know Werfs is bringing a lot of his board games. I'm going to bring my computer, which has some Jack Pack party packs on them, so that's going to be fun. I've got my Switch. So if anybody who is going can bring a projector, please, or a TV. We might have to steal Jerry's TV from his house for the weekend. But yeah, it's going to be a blast, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, but you know what? I think we should get down to some business before we go into Swing and a Miss really quick. Again, if you are going to Nationals, make sure that you check out the Nationals thread. We have 41 players who are currently signed up. I know there's a few people who haven't. I don't think they're on there yet. They've been saying that they're going, but they haven't signed up yet. Friday, again, is a team tournament. Bill Kafer is going to be running that. I want to say Joe Olson has volunteered to stream the event, so some of the games. So, again, that starts at 6 p.m. local time, so that's 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday morning, again, is the main event. It's going to be 8 games starting at 10 a.m. local time. Stream will start about 10-15 minutes before that. So just so everybody knows about that. Sunday, the top 8 starts at 10 a.m. Again, stream will start about 15 minutes before the actual event. And then there's also the consolation tournament as well. And again, if you are going, please make sure to check out the forums. There's a lot of good stuff. Friday night, if you want to do the team event, or if you want to go to the baseball game, board games, Fantasy Nationals, that is live and going right now, so sign up for that. I believe the winner is going to get a EPP 4-LOM with gun, I believe. Okay, that's all we got for Nationals, and then checking on the Jawa Bonte Eve Summer or Sandcrawler Summer. Right now, Joe Olson is sitting at the top at 11-0. If Joe wins his last game, he'll be 12-0. Obviously, if he loses, be 11-1. Right now, looks like everybody else who is in the who's finished their games, there's nobody really who can challenge Joe. Batmouse currently sitting at 8-2. He has a chance to getting up there. Bastion also 8-2. Now Drew Liefenstein is currently 7-1. So if Joe loses, Drew could overtake him, being with the straightened schedule, as long as Drew wins out. Now, I know everybody's tired of Joe Olson winning, and we do have one person who might be our only hope. This guy right here is currently 4-0.
Oh, I think I know who that is.
Who would that be? Who do you think that is?
Nah, it can't be him. There's no way he's 4-0.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's you, sir.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm currently 4-0 with light side, so I just need to get a good dark side. Yeah, that's my biggest issue, is my opponent's win percentage is 23%. So if you're hoping to see Joe Olson not win an event, play me and just play bad decks, and hopefully I'll win. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta play some games here.
Well, I only have light side games left, so...
Well, I know. I got 6 games of dark side and 2 games of light side. So...
Just saying, I could knock you off. You can finish me, too. I mean, I think my SOS is close where I can finish in second, but I need Dralex to keep opponent SOS to go down a little bit more. But it's close.
Okay, so are you guys ready for some swing and a miss?
Sure.
Okay, this is going to be a Nationals edition of Swing and a Miss. Okay, the first question is: the team tournament will contain one first-time winner. So I know, like the last team event was like Ryan Jelson and Elspeth who won. So I don't think I'm saying no Joe Olson, no Justin Desai, somebody new.
I think they take the field on that one. It's probably a hit.
It's a hit.
I'm going to say it's a hit too. I don't know who exactly has won any of the team events, so it's going to be interesting. I know Matt, I think you said you're going to play, so you might be playing with Drew, right?
Not sure who I'm specifically playing with. We haven't sorted that out yet. I think there's a couple of folks on the team that are going to be playing the team event.
Okay, so you've never won it, correct?
No.
Well, see, you could win it. You've been playing really well. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to win it because my partner's Batmouse.
And I've never won it because I don't go to majors. So.
Yeah. Yeah, my last partner was Jerry, so I don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade.
It depends on which of us you ask.
That's true. Okay, on to question number 2. At least one person from Colorado will make the top 8.
Oh, who's coming here from Colorado? Who's our local guys?
So, let's see. I want to say locally we have Paul Coggins, Adam Bott, Aaron Bott, and Justin Miyashiro. I think that's it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Justin was kind of low on the fantasy points. He's probably might be the best value player on there for that. This might relate to maybe one of the questions that is upcoming. I think I'm going to take the field and say miss on this one. I think we got some high quality competition. It's going to push a lot of folks out.
Wow,
of that top 8.
That's one against Justin Miyashiro. I know he's actually watching right now.
Sorry, Justin.
I think I'm gonna make that 2 against. I'm gonna go the field. I I like the guys that are probably team high ground, just because I really like the name. But there are a lot of good players coming, and not to take away from the people from the Colorado guys, but there are just a lot of good players traveling to this event, and I can see it pushing, maybe just missing the cut kind of moves, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
So I will say this. I know in the last in-person event, Justin Miyashiro, I want to say he beat Joe Olsen to keep him out of the top 8 at the Indoor Grand Prix. So Justin is one of those players who has the potential to take down a top 8. I'm not saying but I'm gonna have to
agree completely.
Yeah, I got to take the field.
3 misses.
And I mean, I'm just looking at like the registered players right now. Matt Lutz, Matt Wadden, Ryan Saracen, Hayes Hunter, Chris Werfs, Drew, Joe, Kyle Kruger, Harpster, Brian Fred. Like those names right off. Charlie Arlinson. Like those names are the guys who and Justin. I think any of those guys I could see in the top 8. And I think at least, like 3 or 4 of them, unfortunately, are going to be playing in the Constellation Tournament.
I can't wait to lose win the Constellation Tournament. I mean,
on to question number 3. Someone going 5-3 will make it the top 8.
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a 6-2 at a most. If my experience dealing with Worlds is anything.
I'm of the opinion that I'm always the guy that roots for the underdog, so I'm hoping for a 5-3 to make it. That way I've got a little bit of room, got a little bit of
there you go. So, I think Batmouse is better than he lets on. That's what I think.
No one's ever accused me of that, sir.
Yeah. I can see someone going 5-3. I think that the field is narrow enough, and there's like so many good players going to this event that it's gonna be a bloodbath, not literally but figuratively, obviously.
Right.
But I'm gonna say that I could see like somebody going 5-3 eking their way in with an insane high strength of schedule. Like,
makes sense.
I mean, I could see like it's just gonna be. I don't think it. Like, okay, on this note, you think we're gonna see somebody go undefeated?
I don't like betting against the world champ, so I think we'll probably have 1 8-0.
Okay.
I will go that it's gonna come down to the end and be like, oh, I'm already in. Okay, I'm good. And that might be the one loss that does it. Like, I'm gonna go leave for dinner early.
Yeah.
Right. Like that makes sense, especially because it's not. Yeah, it's not straight seeding on day 3. It's
no.
1 through 4 get randomly sorted versus 5 through 8.
Yeah, so 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8, and then it's just random up. So it's like, say 1 will face 8. So, and I think that's actually a really good point. So that being, I mean, and after 8 games of Star Wars and hopefully a lunch. Hopefully, I think it's going to be a long day at least. So,
right,
and I know people want to do stuff after the event. So yeah, I can see that. Now, I mean, I know you said you can't bet against the world champ. I can. He might be the world champ, but he might not even be the best player on his team who's going. Like, if there's somebody, like, right now, I'm going to say it right now. If somebody's going to go 8-0, it's going to be Hayes. I can see Hayes going 8-0.
Absolutely see that.
I could as well.
I don't see Joe going 8-0. I don't think Joe has gone 8-0 in an event. So more fuel.
I'm not betting against him.
More fuel to Joe Olson because I picked him in my fantasy team. So this is more fuel to him.
I did too.
I guess I should make one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Probably should.
Is there do I get negative points for picking myself?
No.
No.
But last question of the night is actually concerning that team. A member of Team 5 will win Nationals. That's Joe Olson and Hayes Hunter that I know of. I'm not sure who else that I can think of who's on Team 5. So you think it's going to be Joe or Hayes? Because, I mean, they won all majors last year with the exception of the OCS Championship.
I think we take. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say take the field. Take the field.
Yep, I agree.
I am
for the reasons we talked about so far. There's a lot of other good players who are going to be there.
So, I'm going to say 51% miss. I don't like they bet against Hayes, and I kind of don't like the bet against Joe anymore. Joe has stepped up his game. I'll give him that much.
Sound like a defense attorney over there. That's what I do.
I've been told I should be an attorney or something else that I can rabble well, but I mean the field is so good. I know Charlie has gone an insane I think he's lost 2 games in the last 2 or 3 the last 2 to 3 months in the OCS. So Charlie's playing really well. B Fred is always a threat to win. Any member of Team 9 Million, they could make a run. So I mean, I think there's a lot of people who could do it, but if Joe and Hayes are just say we want to win, I could see it. Now, I will say this: this is all dependent on one thing. I know someone on Slack, a member of the esteemed KTOD, has said that he's been building decks for a while, and I've seen him playtesting a lot on Gemp. If he goes, this just changes everything I just said. Because, I mean, he doesn't go to events to make a top 8.
Goes to win.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I think we're currently sitting at 41 players. I think the online check-in or the online registration, I think today is the last day, and then everything else is cash at the event. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think like I said, I don't know if Gogolin has updated it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Charlie is the last one who's on that list so far.
Okay, so that's all we got for Swing and Miss. Definitely some interesting topics. Okay, let's so between the three of us, who's your pick to win this? Matt?
Who's my pick to win this? Not me.
I like that pick as not you, but also not me as well. I'd really like to. That would be awesome, but I hope I do well. Is my answer.
Give me a definitive answer.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
I'd love to go 4-4 this weekend. My fantasy team. Who did I pick here? I picked Joe, Charlie, and Mike Kessling. So.
You only picked 2 of Team 9 Million?
Well, Joe's worth 40 points, so it's hard to squeeze in more than that. I think Charlie is probably our best player who's going. He's worth 25. Otherwise, I would have picked 3.
Yeah.
Three of us at 20. Then it would probably have been, Kessling, Charlie, and then either Taco Bill or Drew.
That's fair.
But would like to see Charlie make a run.
Okay, so do you think Charlie's going to win it?
I would love to see Charlie win it.
Okay, who's going to win it? Who do you think is going to win it? I want your one person to pick from both of you.
I mean, I haven't even made my fantasy team. I'm gonna put myself on the fantasy team, and so that I don't. I'm gonna win it. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna win it. Batmouse.
There you go.
Win national.
Batmouse. See, we're all gonna be laughing our butts off when you do.
You heard it here first.
You know what? I'm gonna say this: if Batmouse wins nationals, I'm gonna bring you a stack at the next event of just a stack of abysses, and I want you to sign each and every one of them.
I mean, every day.
At the card.
Yeah.
We should. We'll make the Batmouse Abyss Shield.
Ryan or Matt? Ryan.
I think we'll go Charlie. I think he's two.
I'm gonna go a little off script. I'm gonna go with Matt Sperling.
Interesting.
Oh, that's a good choice too.
Matt has been playing and testing against Justin Desai. He top 3'd the Magic Strixhaven Grand Prix, whatever it is. So, and I'm going to say this: he's a value pick at 20 points.
Agreed.
So,
there's a lot of that. I looking at the fantasy list. I was thinking, let's just pick 5 20-point guys.
Well, I'm going to say this: after nationals, I'm going to get with the tournament committee and everybody else, and we're going to revamp this fantasy thing. Make the list actually like a good because don't get me wrong, Bastion at 45 points, that's understandable. Joe 40 points, understandable. Justin Mishiro at 20 points. Come on, Justin's he's made some stuff. See, Matt, you're what, 20 points?
20, yeah.
Matt Sperling.
I think I should be 10 or 15, but that's fine.
Yeah. We're gonna update it.
I think I'm overpriced.
You're 15. Yeah, I can see that.
I think I'm overpriced. I should be lower.
I do.
Definitely be lower.
I agree.
But you're also in that 15, so we should both be moving down a tier.
Well, to be fair, I mean, yeah, I can see that. Like,
yeah, I can turn the camera for the trophies. I mean,
my trophies are packed.
Well, see, mine aren't.
Well, I'm moving. Hopefully. Yeah, there you go.
There's a trophy. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold that back up, because what does it say? Whose name is also on that?
Whose name is also on that? Mr. Batmouse himself.
That's right.
Oh
on every
God.
One of those cups. Every single one of the cups. Thank you. Thank you very much.
See, this is why I'm so glad I didn't win. Or get in the top 4. I couldn't have something with Batmouse's name in my house.
Oh, that's fine. What else you got for us, Dan?
So, really quick, we still have the deck building challenge going on right now. It is Rescue the Princess V. All you got to do is have the Falcon at the Death Star docking bay with Leia, Han, Chewie, and Luke on the table, and you got to win. I will say this.
And you got to win.
Huh? That's all you got to do.
And you got to win.
And you got to win. That's pretty simple. Now, if anybody does it at Nationals, you win. Like, I'll count it if you do it at Nationals.
I'm not sure if rescue decks are playing that docking bay.
We talked about it in the even if it's in the consolation or the team tournament or the main event. It doesn't matter. You do it. If you do this during Nationals, I will consider you a winner.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. Win twice. I think you get to win twice if that happens.
I think you just win in whatever event you're in.
Right.
Okay, we got one last thing, Batmouse. This is to redeem yourself because you didn't succeed the last time you were on so far.
Well, I try. I mean, I kind of went rogue. I'm like,
No, this is to redeem yourself with the lore challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't really try. I'm like, no, not doing it. Okay, but let's try.
Let's try it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what card Dan has picked. So.
Nobody knows. So,
Nobody knows.
Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lore onto the screen. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to ask if you want the type of the card or the set. Okay, are you ready? Your lore challenge is: when unexplained droid losses are detected, a droid control ship can call in reinforcements in seconds.
I will wait. So it's the card type or the set?
Yep.
Card type.
He wants the card type, everybody. Is this the right? Is that the right thing? It's an interrupt. Do you need me to read it again?
Yeah, one more time.
I think I know what this is.
When unexpected droid losses are detected, a droid control ship can call in reinforcements in seconds.
It's an interrupt.
Matt, I'll give you a chance to steal. But Batmouse gets the first one.
Wow. Well, I was hoping it was an effect because I knew I had a good idea if it was the effect, but it's the interrupt. So the only one, and I'm probably wrong. There they are.
Matt, I want to know what your answer was.
That was my guess.
You're both correct.
There we go.
Batmouse, you have redeemed yourself.
I have redeemed myself. Good job.
So.
And I was thinking if it was an effect, it was probably
activate the droids.
Activate the droids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I played it against Invasion once or twice.
It's a great card. I mean, I get to pull a battle droid, sure. And your U5, sure. Oh, and I get to add +1 power to all of my droid to my battle droids there. Okay,
yeah.
That works.
Yep.
Awesome. So, congrats, Batmouse. You have redeemed yourself slightly in my eyes. Hopefully, a little bit more in the community eyes and everything. So, but okay, everybody, that's all I have for tonight. So next week we'll hopefully be on with the winner of Nationals, whoever that shall be. After that, we're gonna have some more people.
It'll be Batmouse.
It'll be Batmouse. If it's Batmouse 2 weeks in a row, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
We riot. That's what happened.
No. So I want to thank Matt for coming on as the co-host tonight, Batmouse for coming on as our guest. Again, this weekend, Friday night, 6 p.m. Local time, so 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. The team tournament will be live. Again, Joe Olsen is going to be covering the stream for those, at least on a few games. Saturday, 10 a.m. is day one, the main event. So again, that is going to be noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So get ready for that. Stream will be on at 10 minutes before the actual event starts. Again, like I said, I know Jerry and myself are going to be doing commentary. We might have some other people come on as well. We're going to have a smorgasbord of people who want to volunteer. So maybe, I know Matt said that Brian Mischke might be showing up. So former world, no, he didn't. He didn't win world. Oh, he didn't win
World's runner-up.
World's runner-up.
Famously blown out by quite a mercenary non-V by Bastion. And Bastion won his third.
Bastion using one of a non-V card to blow up Mischke. Yeah, that's a classic thing right there.
Yep.
So if you bring quite a mercenary, make sure you have some pens so Mischke can sign it.
That's rough. Ouch.
Hey, why not?
No, why not?
But yep. So then Sunday again, the top 8 will be on at 10 a.m. Again, noon and 9 relative, according to those time zones and everything. The top 8 will be live. Each game is going to be an hour and 15 minutes instead of the normal hour. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, again, that's all I got for tonight. So I will see everybody at Nationals, coming to you live. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait to see everybody. So, good night.
Thanks, everyone. Good to see you.
Good to see everybody. Good night, and take care, Star Wars land.